What is up, guys? Wraith here, Greybearded Gaming Society. We have taken the trip across the field of bone, as you can see right in front of me, and we have arrived at the door to Kern's tower. I skipped out on some of the travel bit because, of course, again, because the server we're playing on, just used the books, kind of jumped across. Didn't take quite the disaster to get here that some servers would require of us. So here we are. We managed a way to get across. Now, before we jump inside, of course, some of the bigger things about Kern's Tower, for those who don't remember, is the majority of the place will be undead. Lots and lots of skeletons. I believe if you go into the basement area, there's a lot of the Burani. I believe that's how you pronounce it. There's a couple of them walking around you can kind of see down below me. Some of the Burani guys are basically like big mole-looking dudes. Nice, chunky-looking guys. Anyway, there was around there somewhere now. Apparently, there's nothing in the range but the skeletons. But we're going to stick towards the top to start with. Now, because of that, we've loaded a couple of extra spells. Kind of moved things around. Of course, we have Feign Death, in case we get in trouble. Got our Snare, got our Fear, just in case. And technically, we could actually drop the Fear here and go for Spook the Dead if we wanted to. So we've got 10 mana, 40 mana. So, tell you what, we'll actually swap that out too, because we're going to focus on the undead. If we decide to get some things moving, or if we need to crowd control something, we'll go with that. We left, of course, Heat Blood on the bar, which is still our heavy hitter. We left a nice medium DOT on there, which is Heart Flutter. We dropped Poison Blast, finally. It just wasn't, Poison Bolt. We dropped that one off. It's still decently efficient if you pile on the other one, but by itself, it's really not that much. And then what we did do is we put Hungry Earth on there. So it's an undead-only root. So we can technically do some root rotting, use it for some control if we get into some trouble. And we also put Ward Undead on the bar. Now, we have another Ward Undead, or new, I should say, Ward Undead coming in this level range somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. The Allure of Death will be the big one. Dominate Dead. Yeah, there we go. The Expulse Undead. So, basically, that's to level 19. So, we might not even still be here by the time that's useful. But basically, what we will do is we'll try to use this one here a little bit as we can to make sure we get our evocation up, because that's one of the few skills we're just not great at. Not in the slightest. So, we'll try to do a couple shots with that, see if we can sneak up some skills here and there. And again, it's pretty lightweight on the mana, and you're going to get at least double mana efficiency, so it kind of is what it is. And, of course, we're going to keep our Dark Pact on there. Now, a lot of times we'd keep the Leech up there, but so far we have not had trouble with just Dark Pact. Now we've got a couple levels on us, kind of keeping up with the life that it's going to draw, as long as we sit back down. And of course, sometimes some of the buffs we've had have actually helped out, a couple region buffs here and there. But this is our loadout. This is what we've got. Let's jump inside and see what we got. Now I'm expecting somewhat lower guys, of course, right towards door, 'cause it's just kind of typically what you get. But we've still got some nice dark blues. The greater skeleton, I'm sure we'll get a little bit of a mix. And again, we just got a new pet, so we can really kind of put him through the paces as well. Because I'm pretty sure that, especially for like a one-on-one kind of situation, this dude will really, we can actually just kind of rely on some pet tanking. We can do one simple dot, cop a squat, and our pet should really handle the business. We got Taunt on there, like I said, and right now he does have a buff. Well, as I was messing around with some of my own buffs, so I used Spirit Armor kind of on myself and on my pet. Nothing huge, just kind of keeping him on there. But our pet should mostly be able to tank, especially stuff one-on-one. But then our other spoofy thing now is we've got, bam, Hungry Earth. We could actually just root rot something in place and never even have to risk the pet. So we could technically use that as another form of control if we needed to, while we send our pet over here to kill this guy instead. Get a little Heat Blood, get a little pet action going. We can cop a squat and get them both kind of rolling at the same time. And again, we'll see. We'll experiment, right? It's one of those, we've got pretty much nothing but undead in here, at least in the areas that we're going to be messing around with. If we get a couple levels on us, maybe we'll get brave and kind of shoot downstairs. But, we have the skill set that should just work great for us. We'll try to sneak in some of these Ward Undeads here. There we go. So I think we should pretty much be wide open to kind of crawl through the area a little bit. Again, the pet's going to tank for us pretty well. And again, we'll have a decent mix of, that guy's actually kind of gray to us. Especially these guys are kind of dark blue. I think we'll get the skeletons get bigger as you go up. And of course, you go down to get the Burn Eye guys. But I think with just kind of minimal, of course, the other thing we can do, because I started to say something, I'll jump back on that. You know, we can, with minimal dotting, I think our pet will be able to handle most things. But another thing we can do if we really want him to kind of tank for us, you know, the other option is we can always drop the word undead. If we're going to kind of commit to the pet tanking role a little bit, of course, we could just throw mend bones on there and do that. But we are here. We're going to try to probably, I remember the bridge being a pretty good spot. So we're probably going to try to work our way up to the bridge and get settled in, and then see what happens from there. So we'll be back in a little while after I do a little bit of clearing, guys. All right, gang, we are back. So we haven't gone really all that far. I just figured I'd save you the kind of clearing just to get here, because there's the door area right in here, you know, where we came in from. We zipped around. We killed most of the guys on the bottom floor on the way up. Not all of them, but a good deal of them. And then we come up, of course, to this stairway here, which you can see has an entrance to it from both sides. Both sides have guards down below in the little area right in here. A couple of that roam through there. So we fought our way through those guys and happened to catch unlucky pathers right here. So we've just kind of been catching back up. But this bridge kind of gives us a pretty good spot to pull from and to fight from. It's a kind of a top area around here. You can see, you know, the little dudes kind of roaming. Of course, everybody keeps stopping every time I try to say it. But here you go. You can see this guy in the corner over here kind of roaming across. You know, so you have kind of areas to fight and kind of areas to move. You could technically more or less kind of kite mobs through here. Now you have to be wary of some of the pathing. One of the fights, of course, on the way up, when involving the stairs, you know, try to get him, try to fear him, and the pet's kind of doing the tap dance back and forth. He doesn't quite know what to do. But you're a little bit better in the bridge area. You know, it's again, and it's a little more wide open. You got some more space to move. And again, we've loaded a whole different set of spells on the, well, not a whole different set. We kind of went over the spells we have. You know, if we want our pet to straight up tank, having mend bones never a bad idea. You know, again, we can use hunger for some root rotting. But one of the other things that you actually can do in here, in certain areas, especially if you're going to pull back to an area like this, you know, use your pet and kind of be careful, is you can actually do a little bit of fear kiting inside. Now, you keep your root on tap just in case things go badly, but, of course, this guy's not even going to be worth killing. We'll camp our pet right here. A couple of the little wimpy guys around. We'll use him as an example because he could do just fine. We can still pull him in with our snare, get onto the bridge. You see a little bit of pathing action. See him doing a little bit of that tap dance. We'll get the pet on him. We'll throw a smaller dot, being how he is, just for example fake. We'll show the, get the fear, and off he goes. Of course, looks like the pet put a quick stun on him, which was fun. So he spent most of that time kind of dead. But I say kind of dead. That's funny. Kind of stunned before he died. But you can, like I said, you can do some fear kiting, especially if you keep the area clear. You know, you're relatively safe. You keep eyes on your pathers. There are one or two guys who will path down the little bridge and kind of get in your way. But with the kit mim that we have mimmed, we should be in pretty good shape. Try a slightly bigger guy. We'll get him snared. Pull him back into our bridge area. Start casting a dot. Get the pet out there to get the distraction rolling. See, everybody's just tap dancing up and down the bridge. The pathing is kind of amusing, but you throw the fear, cop a squat, and just save the pet that little bit of a beating. So the pet's just going to kind of follow him along and wear him out while the dot does its business. So pretty standard fear card, and then again, we have the root specifically for the undead if something, you know, kind of gets out of hand. But as you can see, like, the pathing is weird. You kind of get some of the back and forth. As long as it's one mob at a time, you'll still be in pretty good shape. Again, we came in at level 16. You can definitely come in here a little bit earlier. You see these guys, like some of them already grayed out to me. You know, a handful of them are dark blue. The experience modifier in this place is really good. So even fighting dark blues, you know, the efficiency will still be there. I'm horrible, just horrible at checking to see exactly how much experience I had when I walked in the door. But we're about halfway through level. You know, we padded 16 before we ever even left the Oasis. You know, we come in here, you know, got a pretty decent chunk in. This guy's not going to give us anything, but the dark blues in here should. Now, one of the trade-offs, of course, in the area is you'll get some coin from the drops. Obviously, you get bone chips, which is great. You'll keep those coffers stocked on those. You're not going to get a lot of, you know, big money drops or anything. You know, that's just not going to happen in here. But it's good killing. It's a good experience modifier. It's good experience. You know, you will get some consistent coin, just not a ton of it. Let's see if we can we get pulls without making an absolute disaster. Which might be easier, honestly, just to kind of move a little bit if we need to. But we'll get the snare and we'll run down. Again, with the way the pet's been kind of been able to tank, we could probably get away with doing that. And just going with some straight pet tanking. Again, the pathing in here is definitely classic and a hair janky. And I don't think we'll have too much of a problem getting them back to our bridge here and kind of by ourselves and dealing with them one by one. Or again, you can always, like I said, using the pet tank method, you can kind of crawl through that way and kind of fight. Here comes our guy. He's almost here. He's going to get here one of these days. And fizzle, fizzle, fuzzle. Outstanding. Come on. Got a new snare. But again, lots of different ways to fight in here. It's a pretty good experience. We'll get the dots rolling. No, he's pretty much going to be knocked out. So this guy's a dark blue. We're sitting at 49.3. The dots and the pet. The pet's going to merely thump on him a little bit. So we'll see. Let's get that out of the way so you can actually see what the experience bar here. So it's almost a percent per kill at this level. And again, you could easily come in here, you know, a little bit sooner than I chose to. It's one of those zones that, you know, has a pretty good, the higher up you go, you know, the guys do get a little bit bigger, and there's also kind of more of them in the rooms. So I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll do a little pet tank action. You know, with some of these rooms, you will definitely have, you know, opportunities really quickly to have more than one guy on you. And that'll be, of course, the other problem is kind of moving around is because your pet will path the way that they do. So you need to make sure you get yourself nice and established before you start picking too many fights. You might start a fight with something and your pet's not even there to back you up. Of course, the other advantage is skeletons. They don't really run. So you won't have to worry about too much of that going on. Just get the fight. Just kind of keep it in control. You know, work through with your pet. So again, Kurn's Tower, it's a good place. We are definitely going to grind out some experience here. Should be a pretty good spot. You know, if I come across anything definitely interesting to need or find something new that I haven't seen in a long time, we'll definitely try to get that kind of on camera as well. You know, I think it should be a good spot to grind out some spirits. If you don't have a lot of bone chips, if you haven't gotten quite as lucky as I did or you started somewhere else, it'd definitely be a spot where you can pile up on some bone chips and get that stuff kind of in the bag. But I think we're going to try to farm out some experience here, kind of see what else the place has in stock for us. And we will we'll check back in here in a little bit. Alright guys, just kind of wrapping I guess up for the night. Managed to work my way up to a taller portion of the tower, I guess. Pretty good spawns in the room. I mean, I've got it clear, I've got it broke. We've been a couple guys by the door, a couple guys in this end. One guy spawns right around in this area and a roamer that pops in here and immediately starts walking. So a pretty good amount of spot to kill right in here. Again, I'm mostly doing pet tanking. I do have the root and the fear just in case things get out of hand. You know, a couple of these guys, you know, I've got some pretty decent hit points. I mean, they'll put a little bit of a hurting on the pet, but the pet holds his own, which is quite nice. Put a couple dots on him, we do pretty good. Nothing crazy in the loot department. Did pick up a little emerald here. We got a couple of different kind of runes might sell for a little bit. We had one guy pop with a fine steel morning star, which is nice, off of actually a rare mob. So we'll see if he comes back through and graces us with cash, and then some rune skill gloves. So I mean, we'll kind of see what we'll do, kind of catch back up at one point and see kind of how, you know, the cash aspect works. But the experience is going pretty good. Again, you know, generally I've been in here by myself, which is again par for the course, right? We're sneaking up on level already. Here's a spawn and the immediate roamer I was telling you about. We'll go ahead and get the pet on him. But I mean, it is a pretty good spot to get experience. Again, on a different type server, a brand new server, like brand new TLP. You know, I'm sure this place would be absolutely packed. So being able to set up camp in the corner and have somebody pull for you nonstop would be great. If you're by yourself, I will say that having a little bit of the extra levels does help substantially. And we did pick up the level, which is pretty cool there. So I've just been merrily bobbing along, mostly in this same room. I got my pet set to kind of walk back to the middle and kind of protect, trying to keep up with the mana, kind of falling off with the buffs. Kind of get a cycle going once they spawn in, and then I can shoot down the hallway here, and there's a couple of extra guys we can pull here and there. Of course, with the level, a couple of them are probably going to, yeah, a couple of these guys turned green. Some of them are already gray anyway. But the experience modifier has been helping to keep everything going along pretty good. So it's still probably going to be a pretty good spot, I think, to experience in for a while. And again, this particular camp, again, I'm not familiar enough to know what that name is. If you look at the map of the place, that's a disaster. So good luck figuring out whatever this is supposed to be. But the experience is good. It wasn't too hard to get up here. Plenty of spawns right here in the room. Like I said, kind of pet tanking with a little dot help to make sure that we get the bonus experience. But overall, a good place to experience. Definitely would be great for like a duo where you could pull more, or even a full group. You know, by yourself, I mean, like I said, maybe pad the levels a little bit higher so you could actually, you know, I did have several instances of having multiple guys on me at the same time. So being a little bit bigger and being able to survive that, you know, is kind of a big deal. We did lose the original pet when I first broke into the room, because I actually ended up with 3 guys. So we couldn't handle them all at the same time. So now we have, I'm not even going to try. Zenantic, maybe? Maybe. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Now, the other neat thing is there's this little dude in the room. I have not messed with him at all. He said he's level 20. He's just bobbing around back and forth. He's been red to me until we just leveled. So I might look him up and kind of see what he is all about. But Kurn's Tower, we have arrived. Said it's been a good spot to experience. So I'll probably sit here and grind out in this room here a little bit. It's been a pretty nice safe camp. I got the little movie going on the other side of the screen here, which has been nice. Pretty good spot. Another did touch up in the previous video. Make sure we bring it back up. Is, you know, we're probably at some point also going to try to do some upper guck action and see how that goes. I know there's tons of camps in that place. Ooh, he is our level, so let's get a snare on him. There's tons of camps in that place and potential for some loot, so we'll see what we can pull off from there. But in the meantime, we are going to grind out some experience right here. I think it'll be a nice, good spot. And with the varying level mobs, and so there's a lesser ice spawn. Apparently, I can spawn in most spots. I can see the guy that spawned here. So hopefully, we'll work out some more experience here. We'll check out some other spots. Again, we'll try to see if we can find the old Orc Highway, see if that exists on the other side of Oasis of Mar, and potentially in this level range, you know, again, 16 to 20-ish, kind of check out some upper guck. But I think with that, that'll be a pretty good spot to stop for the night. We will sit here and grind out some. Actually, we're going to fear this guy off the pet because he's beating the pet to death. But going to be a good spot to stop for the night. I hope everybody had a good time and a good night, and we will see you guys next time.